Guys, please check your audio and video settings, please. Yeah. In other day's class, I was talking about what was non-select operations using JDBC template. Can you tell me what is the method that we have to use to send and execute non-select SQL queries? For any non-select SQL query, update is the method, right? Yes, boss. Then we discussed about two ways of executing logic using JDBC template, using direct methods, using callback methods. What is the problem? So far, we dealt with direct methods now, boss. Yeah. Can you tell me what is the problem with the direct methods? Can you tell me what is the serious problem with the direct methods, guys? Can you tell me what is the serious problem with the direct methods? Yeah. To execute the select query that gives me single record, we use query for map method. That generated map object contains column names as the keys, column values as the values. But column names are unnecessary na boss, which we never use anywhere. And what is industry standard, guys? We try to get single record into one Java bean class object, which is also called model class object. But is it possible by using query for map method? No. So what we should do for that? Callback interfaces. We have to use those methods which supports callback interfaces. Right now, boss? Yeah. What is the another problem we noticed? When we use query for list method, you will get bunch of records as map object stored into list collection. As the map object stored into list collection. Right now, boss? As the map object stored into list collection. As the map object stored into list collection. And understanding? Okay, in every map object, column names will be there. That too, same column names will be there. They are waste or not? They are waste or not? I want reply. What is industry standard, guys? What is industry standard? We want to get into multiple records. We want to get in the form of multiple objects of Java bean class. And those objects we want to add to list collection. These objects we would like to add to list collection. What do you say, boss? So list of model class objects, right? List of model class objects. Are you getting my point there or not? List of model class objects. Okay, guys. List of model class objects. For that one, we need to use JDBC template with callback interface. Callback interface methods or not? Super. Then we understood what is callback method. The method that will be called automatically by underlying container or server or framework or special object is called callback method, right? What do you mean by callback interface? The method that contains declaration of callback method is called callback interface. What are the popular callback interfaces in JDBC, guys? Spring JDBC. Row mapper gives results set object with a single record so that we can customize into Java bean class object. Yes, we can customize that record into Java bean class object. Next one, result set extractor. gives multiple records based result set object so that we can customize the records into what? List of Java bean class objects. Next, prepared statement setter gives prepared statement object and allows us to set various query parameter values to it. So that we can set our choice values to query parameter, we can execute the query in however you want. Prepared statement creator use JDBC connection object so that we can create prepared statement object in the way we want and we can execute the query the way we want. But row mapper and result set extractor are very, very popular, boss. These are very, very popular. Industries most popular, guys. Mostly used interfaces. Mostly used interfaces. These are mostly used interfaces. Right now, boss? Okay, guys. Now listen. Row mapper interface is having how many methods, guys? One method. Collections. It is taking the support of collections, guys. If we pass Java bean class name, return type is Java bean. Map row result set R is into row number. Into row number. Result set object with one record, guys. Next, record number in DB table that is stored in result set object. Record number in DB table that is stored in result set object. Okay, guys, listen. Okay, row mapper is there to process single record that came into result set object. This is the result set object with one record. And this row num holds which record of the DB table is coming and storing into result set object. Which record of DB table came and stored into result set object is decided here. Is decided here. Is decided here. Got it? Result set object with one record. Record number in DB table that is stored in result set object. Here is the row. Here is the row number. Tell me different types of inner classes, guys. What are the different types of inner classes we are having? I'm just introducing one by one. Row mapper interface with generic is having one method that is map row. Okay, that comes with result set object that representing one record. Row num will hold record number of the table that is stored into result set object. How many types of inner classes we are having in Java? 4 types. Normal inner class, nested inner class, also called static inner class, local inner class, specific to each method definition, anonymous inner class, boss. Anonymous, inner class without name, inner class without name. Query for object method signature that takes row mapper T as the parameter type. Query for object method signature that takes row mapper T type parameter. Row mapper T type parameter. Convinced, boys? Public T query for object string SQL. Row mapper T row mapper object 3 dots args. Object 3 dots args. Are you understanding my statement? String SQL. Row mapper T row mapper object args. Array. First parameter is query should pass, that gives me single record. Second parameter is row mapper interface. Third parameter is varargs. Varargs. Tell me. Array at the rate nullable means if no value is there, you can pass null values also. Nullable means for third parameter, null values are allowed. Nullable means this method can return nullable. At the rate nullable is Springify annotation. which indicates I allow null values, which indicates that I allow null values. Clear, boss? Whereas to pass query param values. Whereas to pass query param values. Nullable is Spring 5-point text annotation, which indicates that we can pass. Come on, guys. Null inputs, null params, or null return values. Null params or null return values. Everyone understanding my statement? See, boss. See. Param 1, param 2, param 3. Param 1, param 2, param 3. Right now, boss? This is my param 1, parameter 1, guys. This is my param 2. This is my param 2. This is my param. Param 1, param 2, param 3. Whereas to pass query parameter values. If Java method parameter type is an interface, listen, if Java method parameter type is interface, are we going to pass interface object as argument value or its implementation class object as argument value? Are we going to pass its interface object as argument value or its implementation class object as argument value? Can we create object for interface in Java, boss? So we must think about creating its implementation class object, and we should pass that object as argument value or not? We should pass that object as argument value or not? I want reply, boss. If Java method parameter type is an interface, then we need to pass interface implementation class object as the argument value while calling the method. So now listen carefully. Query I will pass, query argument values I will pass. Here I should pass row mapper interface implementation class object as the argument value. Anyhow, in that implementation class, we implement map row method. That map row method gives query execution related result set object. That result set object contains one record. So we can copy that one record to Java Bean class object. What do you say, guys? We can copy that one record into Java Bean class object. What do you say, boss? Is it possible or not? Super. Okay, let's see. So my requirement, what you know? I want to get employee details based on the given employee number. How many records will come? One record. Earlier, we used to have what method? Query for map method for this operation. You will get map object having single record. You will get map object having single record. But this time, I want to copy this single record into, I would like to copy this single record into Java Bean class object. So where that customization I want to do? In the map row method that gives me result set object. That result set object record I want to copy into single record. Clear, my dear? Super. Okay, let's see how to develop that application. We'll start down. We'll develop that application from the scratch level. FS64, launch it. I'm launching, boss. Create Maven project adding the following dependencies. Spring context support, OJDBC8, Hikari CP, and Spring JDBC. Spring context support for core module. OJDBC8 for JDBC driver. Hikari CP to work with connection pool guys. Spring JDBC to deal with Spring JDBC module. Same as previous project, same as first project. Okay, what is the target? Earlier also we got a single record based on the given employee number, but we stored that record into map object. But this time I want to store that record into Java bean class object. Right now, boss? Okay, boss. I think can I copy paste the project, guys? Okay, 1 minute. First time now, in new days. It's a new days of Spring JDBC. Let me create from the scratch level. Maven hyphen archetype hyphen Maven hyphen archetype hyphen restart. JDBC pros 02. JDBC template callback methods. com.nt.client. Save finish. com.nt.client. Save paste. Here is my 1.7. Here is my 1.7. Select it. Right click, guys. Maven project. Okay, let's create the packages, my dear. Package. com.nt.model. Model means Java bean class, boss. Java bean class, which is ready to hold that single record data. I think everyone watched Java bean videos. Java bean is a Java class that contains getter method and setter methods. If you want to pass multiple values from one class to another class, one layer to another layer, it's recommended to pass as multiple arguments of method call or single Java bean class object. Multiple arguments of method call or single Java bean class object. Yes, boss. I think we can use Lombok API also to get the getter method, the setter method dynamically. Come on, guys. I think already I have given videos of Lombok API to you people. Watching or not watching? When I give videos, watch it. All of a sudden, I use in the application development. That time, sir, I did not watch what to do. Waste. Okay, cool. Lombok API generates common code of the Java class dynamically or not? At the rate setter annotation generates a setter method. At the rate getter generates a getter method. At the rate data generates setter method, getter method, toString method, equals method, hash code method, lot of things, right? com.nt.da. New package. com.nt.service. Client DAO model service. Next, CFZs. com.nt.service. Okay. Ankit Nage Patil, if you please, without watching it, don't say like this, please. Ankit, last warning I am giving. You have not watched video, that's why you are trying to play this trick. Shame on you. Shame on you. Those who watched video, no one says at the rate data is different. Shame on you, worst fellow. Don't play this kind of tricks with me. Last warning I am giving to you. Stupid fellow. Muddy fellow. At the rate data is combination of how many annotations? At the rate data is combination of how many annotations? Tell me. At the rate setter, at the rate getter, at the rate toString, at the rate equals and hash code. One annotation will do job of multiple people or not? Not watching videos and trying to show talent in the chat box. Wait, I'll show practicals now. Okay. CFZs. At the rate data is all-rounder annotation. One annotation will give setter method, getter method, toString method, equals and hash code method. Many things it will do now, boss. So now packages are ready, Rabab. Packages are ready. First go to pom.xml. Go to pom.xml. What are the jars I should add, boss? mvnrepository.com. I can copy paste from previous project. From knowledge sake, I am doing manually. Spring context support. 6.0.7. Right. Save paste. Next, OJDBC 8. OJ. Second one is doing well. Copy this, paste it. Next, Spring JDBC. Copy this, paste it. Copy this, paste it, guys. Everyone getting my point? OJDB said Hikari CP. RECP. Latest only. Say paste. Ravi Bashwant, it works everywhere, Babu. Ravi Kushwant, are you not feeling shame? It's been 1.5 months. We are using Spring Context Support. And you are saying that Spring Context Support is not working. Come on, guys. Why it will not work? Tell me. Happily it's work. It's the base one. Ravi Kushwant, all problems will come to you only, na? If that is not working, how you will get remaining jars? You can use context also, but what's the problem with the context support? Definitely it also should work. Check your practice. You're getting error means maybe sometimes you might have downloaded that jar file off. Okay, when you are getting off downloads of jar files, guys, you will get errors. Project Lombok, guys, 1.8.26 guys, paste. Lambda KPI.jar is added or not? Event dependencies. All jars came now, boss. Okay, guys. Season. If your jar files are downloaded in halfway, boss, then that time of errors will come. So that time what should do? C drive, users, username folder. Here is my M2 folder. Here is my M2 folder. Okay, guys. There. What is the package? ORG. Spring Framework, right? These jar files will never be destroyed, boss. These are permanent. Spring Framework. Here, what is there? Context. Okay. Spring context support. There na, boss. If any jar file is awfully downloaded, delete that folder. That version related folder you delete, problem will be solved. Okay. Understanding my statement, my dear? Now listen. So now jars are added, boss. Jars are added. Develop model class employee as a Java bean in com.nt.model package. We have to develop this one now, boss. Okay, here is my model. Okay, now listen carefully. You have to install one plugin called Project Lambda. Then only Lambda KPI is working in the recent versions. How to install, sir? Window preferences. Window preferences. Where is that? Sorry, not that, not that. Help, guys. Help, guys. Install new software, guys. Install new software, guys. There is a URL, check it out. There is a URL, check it out, guys. There na. Lombok. All items are already installed. Suppose if they are not installed, guys, next, finish. You have to restart the system once. You have to restart the system once. Clear, my dear? I'll give the procedure. I will give the procedure for you people. Okay. Here actually manually I kept a getter setter method, toString method. Okay. Now listen. Procedure to configure Lambda KPI in Eclipse IDE. In Eclipse IDE. Just a minute. But first of all, in the list of jars, let me add. In the list of jars, let me give this Lambda KPI jars. Oh, people worries about unnecessary things sometimes, you know. Okay, fine. Be happy, celebrate them. Okay. Go to help menu. Install new software. Go to help menu, install new software. Add. Select URL. Select all checkboxes. Next. Accept terms and conditions. Restart the Eclipse site. restart the Eclipse ID, right? Instead of developing model class, having our own getter setter method, you can generate them dynamically. In my system already installed, now there is no provision to do again, boss, because already that plugin is installed. That's here I am taking class boss. What is the class name? Employee boss. What's the class name? Employee. Employee.java. This is my model class, right? This is my model class. At the rate data. At the rate data. Tell me. Private int envo. Private string e name. Any name you can take for properties. Private string designation. Any name you can give. Private double salary. Salary. So I kept at the rate data, na boss. Okay. Mr. Ankit, can you open your brain and can you listen? I didn't write getter method, setter method, toString method, right? Okay. Just to open and observe. Getter methods came automatically to read the data from bean properties. Setter methods came automatically to set or modify bean property values. To set or modify bean property values. Come on, guys. ToString method came automatically, na boss. Zero param constructor came automatically. Equals method came automatically. Hash code method is came automatically. That means quite commonly required code is automatically generated or not. What's the beauty, you know? What's the beauty? I added extra property. Int department number. DPT. This will be generated dynamically, na boss. Ankit, why I scolded you, know? I found you are not, you have not watched video properly. Okay, guys. This also will be included in the generated getter setter method. You need not to prepare separately for them. You need not to prepare separately for them. Right now, boss? Suppose I removed it. Dynamically updated. So nice, na boss? You modify the property name. You modify the property name. EMPNO. You modify the property name. Things will come dynamically, na? Things will come dynamically or not? Things will be generated dynamically or not? I want reply. Is it not interesting, Rai Babu? This is Lambda KPI. And code also generated very less. The code also very, very less to type, na boss. Okay, that's why Lambda KPI simplifies your life or not. Okay, how to work with Lambda KPI, guys? You should add Lambda KPI jar file to the project using pom.xml directly. And you have to configure project Lambda with the Eclipse ID. Both operations we should do. Okay, guys. Configuring project Lambda with the Eclipse ID is one-time activity. It's definitely one-time activity. It is definitely one-time activity. Right now, boss? Super. New interface. iEmployee DAO. iEmployee DAO. See these guys. Public employee. Get employee EMP details by number. Int number. Get EMP details by number, int number. Here is my declaration of the method, boss. Here is my declaration of the method. Are you getting my point? Super. But I am not taking map. I am not taking map. Did you notice that? Alexa, activate balcony central light. Okay. I am not taking the map. Did you notice that, boss? Did you see that, boss, my dear? Return type is employee. That means I want to store single record given into result set object into model class object. So now DAO IMPL class, boss. Here is my class. Employee DAO IMPL. What is the interface I should take, guys? IEmployee DAO. IEmployee DAO. How to make this one as a DAO class, guys? At the rate component. Sorry, best one is at the rate repository EMPDAO. Right? Tell me, guys, to simplify JDBC coding in DAO class, in Spring JDBC programming, what is the one I should inject? What is the one I should inject? Which class object I should inject? To call all the methods in a simplified manner, we need the object of JDBC template na, boss. Private JDBC template JT. At the rate auto void. At the rate auto void JDBC template JT. At the rate auto void. Super cool na, boss. Now listen carefully. I have to call a method that is taking row mapper as the parameter type. But it expect what? Implementation class object now, boss. See, when I'm very sure that implementation class object is used within the DAO class, better to take that implementation class as a separate class or as the inner class of DAO class, boss. When I'm very much sure that implementation class objects logics I will use only in the DAO class, better to take that implementation class as what? Independent separate class or inner class of DAO class. We can take it as inner class of the DAO class or not. So that's what I'm going to do in inner class. Inner class. Tell me here, what is this? Inner class can be private. Inner class can be private. Outer class cannot be private, but inner class can be private. Private, inner class can be static, guys. Private static employee row mapper. If it is static, I can use this inner class object in non-static methods of outer class and static methods of outer class. Are you understanding? Private static class employee row mapper. Private static class employee row mapper. Tell me. Implements row mapper. Implements row mapper. Which row mapper? Spring related row mapper. Now listen. Okay, this row mapper map method, map row method should give me what, guys? Model class object. So that model class name you have to pass here now, boss. Row mapper employee. Listen carefully. Add unimplemented methods. So now what happened? Because I passed employee there, the return type of map row method is also employee here now, boss. The return type of map row method also taken as employee. The return type of map row method is also becoming employee. What do you say, boss? Private static class employee row mapper implements row mapper employee. Public employee map row results at RS into row number. Throws SQL exception. Throws SQL exception. Understanding my statement, guys? Inner class. This is my outer class. Inner class. This is my outer class. This is my outer class. Now listen carefully what I'm going to do. Copy result set object single record to employee class object. Right? Tell me here what is there. Employee EMP is equal to new employee of EMP dot setter methods are there to set the data to property. RS dot get int of 1. Super. Set E name. RS dot get string of 2. Set E name. Set designation. RS dot get string of 2. RS dot get string of 3. EMP dot set salary. Set salary. RS dot get double of. Get double of 4 ways. Here is my employee class object, boss. Here is my employee class object. To that object, I am copying the record of the result set now, boss. I am copying the record of the result set. Get int of 1 gives me first column value of result set. Copy to employee number property. Name to name. As designation to designation. Okay, salary to salary. Everyone understood my statement? Return EMP. Are you understanding my statement? Return EMP. Is that clear? Are you getting my point? So the single record of result set is copied to what? The single record of result set is copied to what, guys? Everyone understanding my statement, my dear? Okay, don't come to it. No, this is normal. Employee is normal Java bean. It's not a Spring bean. It's not a Spring bean, right? In a static inner class. The static inner class is technically called as what? Nested class, right? Static inner class is technically called as what? Nested class. Super, boss. Tell me now. Now tell me. What is the method I should call, guys? Employee EMP is equal to JT dot query for object. JT dot query for object. Are you getting my point? Now we have to pass the query. It's a 3-param method, boss. JT dot query for object. We have, I think we have to worry about 3 param method. This is the right one. We are looking for this one, guys. Query, row mapper, object, ARGS, right? So first of all, we have to keep the query ready now, boss. We need to keep the query ready. Shall we make query ready here? Private static final string get EMP details by number. What is there? Select employee number, employee name, job sal from EMP, where EMP NO is equal to question. Select employee number, name, job sal from EMP, where employee number is equal to question. Ready na, boss? Super. Thank you. What's the first one? Query. Query is passed. We are second parameter is row mapper. What's the second parameter? Row mapper. Row mapper interface means what, guys? We have to pass implementation class object of row mapper interface. What is that, guys? New employee row mapper, right? Employee row mapper is what? That one only. Third one is query parameter. How many parameters are there in the query? 1. Okay, I can pass NO for that. I can pass NO for that. What do you say, boss? Okay, guys. Return EMP. Now try to understand its internals. From the JT, it will gather inductor data source object. Super. Using the data source object, it gets one connection object from connection port. Using that connection object, it creates prepared statement object by keeping this query as precompiled SQL query. For that query, sets NO as the query parameter value. Super. He executes the query and gets a result set object with a single record. He executes the query and gets a result set object with a single record. And also remembers, all these are background work, guys. Also remembers which record of DB table has come into result set. Now takes a given row mapper implementation class object. Okay, this class object, Rababu. On that object, calls map row method automatically. Calls map row method automatically, passing just created result set object with one record and record number as the argument values. Okay, that result set single record is copied into what? Employee class object, nothing but model class object. Returning that model class object. So this model class object goes to what? Query for object method. Query for object method returns that model class object. Goes to DAO class method. DAO class method is returning, boss. DAO class method is now returning. It will go to caller. Caller of the DAO class method is service class method now, boss. So that means what, guys? Up to connection creation, prepared statement creation, result set creation, internal code. But the way we store result set record into employee class object is there in our control. That means customization of results is allowed or not. The customization of results is allowed here or not. Yeah, check. Okay, guys. Once again, check it out. Same flow I kept here. Inside query for object method collects DS from JDBC template class object. DS means what, guys? Data source object. Using DS gets connection object from connection pool. Super. Creates the prepared statement object having query as the precompiled query using that connection object. Sets NO as the third argument, as the query param value. He executes the query and gets the result set object. Come on, guys. Takes the employee mapper object, second one, object, and calls map row on it, having result set object, comma, record number as the argument value. result set object and record number as the argument values. Map row method copies result set object record into employee class object. Come on, guys. And returns that object to query for object method. Query for object method returns to DAO class method. DAO class method returns to service class method. Service class method returns to client application. Query for object to DAO, DAO to service, service to client. I hope you enjoyed, guys. So overall, it looks like this now, boss. Here is my RS was nothing but results at object. 7499. Sorry. Every result set object contains what, guys? PFR, ALR positions. Seven four double nine, LN clerk 89,000. From there, the things will be copied to what? Employee class object or no? Employee class object. What are the properties in employee class object, guys? According to paintbrush code, employee number 7499. Employee name Raja. Elena. Elena. Okay, next one, property is job clerk. Salary. Okay, what is there, guys? 89,000. Everyone understanding? This work is done now? Okay, here that work is done. That object came to this method. This method returns to DAO class method. DAO class method returns to service class method. Service class method returns to client application. Returns to client application. Super boss. New interface, guys. Employee management service. Employee management service. Public. Find employee by number. Into number. You guys, control plus shift plus. Class. Employee management service ID. Add. Employee management service. Employee management service. At the rate service, EMP service. Super. Here we need to do injection. Employee DAO, EMP DAO. Yes, boss. We have to do injection or not, boss? At the rate order. Super. Here is what? Use DAO. Use DAO. Get employee details by number. Get employee details by number. Super numbers. Okay, yes. Now client application. But we need to have configurations. These configurations are same as yesterday's, boss. Yes, na? Data source required in JDBC template. JDBC template is required in DA. Data source is required in JDBC template. JDBC template is required in DL, right? Now, what is there, guys? Client application. Client application also same, Rababu. Save paste. JDBC operations test.java. JDBC operations test.java. Forget about remaining all the methods. Okay. JDBC template. Callback interfaces test. Callback interfaces test. Tell me, boss. Employee EMP is equal to service dot find employee 7499. Sysout temp. When you call EMP, it internally calls a two-string method now, boss. Run SQL command line. Say connect. What is the username system? What is the password manager? See, guys, internally so many things are happening. At the same time, customization is available. It is like joining in hostel and getting kitchen support in the room now, boss. The day you are comfortable to eat in hostel, you eat it. The day you are not comfortable, you will take the support of kitchen support to cook the food on your own. Is it not interesting, Rababu? I hope you understood. While working with the callback interface, everything we are doing from scratch level? No. Up to what level we want to enjoy the abstraction, we'll enjoy. Only remaining part we will take care or not. Select star from EM. Okay, here so many records are there. 77887 777. Let's have a look, guys. Run as Java. Okay. Now, first time we got the record. We got the record details in the form of what? We got the record details in the form of what? Employee class object or not? Domain class object or not? So we are following, boss. We are following industry standard or not? Copying to map object is good or copying into a domain class object is good? Copying to map object is good or copying to domain class object is good? Definitely copying to domain class object is good, na, boss? Okay, see the code, guys. Spring Bean configuration file, data source, JDBC template, data source injected to JDBC template, component scanning to scan what? Component scanning to scan what? All the classes that are configured through annotations. Okay, guys. Service interface, service IMPL class, regular client application. Regular client application, end of the application. Okay, step number 8, run the client application. Step number 8, run the client application. I hope you got the idea how to deal with callback interfaces. Enjoyed it thoroughly. Okay, on this some improvisations are there, especially internals. Internals are interesting or not? Internal, everything is happening, but are we writing the code? What's the advantage here? Okay, 50% abstraction, 50% customization. Plain JDBC, everything you should write. Direct methods of JDBC template, nothing is in your control. But if you go for JDBC template with callback interfaces, 50% customization, 50% it is in your control. So life is very interesting with this option or not? Life is going to be very interesting with that option or not? Are you understanding my statement? Super. Okay, guys. So now let me upload the notes. Soumya, don't join in the company through background process. Okay, that's a waste of money, and you are not going. That's not going to work out. These many software companies, these many openings in Java. If you are still joining in the company through background process, means you are not believing yourself. If you don't believe yourself, it's meaningless. Okay. As a fresher, one project is sufficient in the resume. That can be any academic project. You can collect that project from working friends or relatives, or you can keep that project from your academics. I'm not able to save files to offline Google Classroom. What to do, sir? Lalita, why are you trying to save, boss? Don't clear. 1 plus 7. Last time I'm answering your question. Tomorrow you should log in with your name. Then only I will answer your question. Every result set contains two positions. BFR before first record, ALR after last record. Yes, na boss? 1 plus 7. Shame on you. Results that I have introduced a few days back, and today you are asking what is BFR and ALR. What is BFR and ALR? I'm not getting any error, boss. I'm not finding any error. What is the error? Bah, look at this code. Where is the error, boss? Yeah, you are getting question mark symbols, huh? You are getting question mark symbols. For which language? Hindi language. Okay. Your Eclipse ID settings got disturbed. Search in the Google and go for it. I don't have enough data to frequently open. Lalita, there's no such option, boss. Whenever you connect, net is required. When openings will be started, sir? May end or June end? Thank you. Have a nice time. We'll meet tomorrow.